It was a quiet evening in late summer, the kind where the sun dipped low behind the hills, painting the sky in soft shades of orange and pink. The air carried a faint chill, hinting at autumn's approach. At a small gas station on the outskirts of a sleepy American town, the pumps hummed softly under fluorescent lights. That's where it all began, a chance encounter that would change two lives forever. John Harper pulled his old pickup truck up to the pump, the engine rumbling to a stop. He was a single dad, raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, on his own after his wife passed away 3 years ago. By day, he worked as a mechanic, but that was just a cover. In truth, John was an undercover detective, investigating a string of local crimes tied to a shady business network. He kept his real job hidden, blending into the community like any other hard-working guy. Tonight, he was just stopping for gas on his way home from picking up groceries. As he stepped out of the truck, he noticed her, a young woman, maybe in her late 20s, sitting on the curb near the station's entrance. She was pregnant, her belly rounded under a simple gray sweater, and she was crying. Soft sobs shook her shoulders, her hands covering her face. Strands of dark hair fell loosely around her, and her clothes looked troubled, like she'd been traveling for hours. The scene tugged at John's heart. He glanced around. The station was empty except for a clerk inside, oblivious behind the counter. John hesitated for a moment, his keys jingling in his hand. He wasn't one to ignore someone in need. "Ma'am, are you okay?" he called out gently, his voice steady and kind. She looked up, her eyes red and puffy. Her name was Emily Carter, though John didn't know that yet. She wiped her tears with the back of her hand, trying to compose herself. I'm fine, just a rough day." John could tell it was more than that. He walked over slowly, giving her space. "Doesn't look fine to me. Mind if I sit?" He gestured to the curb beside her. She nodded weakly, and he lowered himself down, his jeans scraping the concrete. The gas station's neon sign buzzed overhead, casting a blue glow on them both. They sat in silence for a minute, the kind of pause that lets emotions settle. John pulled a bottle of water from his grocery bag and offered it to her. "Here, you look like you could use this." Emily took it with a small thank you, unscrewing the cap and taking a sip. Her hands trembled slightly. "My car broke down a mile back," she said finally, her voice soft and shaky. "I walked here, but everything's falling apart." John nodded, listening without interrupting. He knew about tough days. Balancing his undercover work with fatherhood left him exhausted most nights. Lily was his world, a bright spot in the chaos. "What's got you out here alone?" he asked, his tone calm, inviting her to share if she wanted. Emily stared at the ground, tracing a crack in the pavement with her finger. "I'm pregnant, as you can see." 7 months along. The father. He left when he found out, said he wasn't ready. "And now, my family's far away, and I just lost my job, or at least, that's what it feels like." She paused, her breath catching. "I'm supposed to be strong, but tonight, I just broke." John felt a wave of empathy wash over him. He thought of Lily, how he'd do anything to protect her. "I'm sorry," he said simply. "That sounds heavy." "I'm John, by the way. Single dad myself. My girl's 8. Life throws curveballs, doesn't it?" Emily managed a faint smile. "Emily, and yeah, it does." She rubbed her belly gently, as if comforting the baby inside. The evening breeze picked up, rustling the leaves of a nearby tree. Crickets chirped in the distance, adding to the peaceful yet poignant atmosphere. They talked for a while longer, the conversation flowing easily despite the circumstances. John shared a bit about his life via how he fixed cars during the day and read bedtime stories at night. He didn't mention his undercover role, that was a secret he guarded closely. Emily opened up more, explaining how she'd been driving cross-country to clear her head, but her old sedan had given out. "I don't even have a tow truck number," she admitted, her voice laced with frustration. John stood up, brushing off his hands. "Tell you what, I've got tools in my truck. Let me take a look at your car. If it's simple, I can fix it right here. If not, I'll call a friend who owns a shop." Emily's eyes widened. "You do that? For a stranger?" He shrugged, a warm smile crossing his face. "We're all strangers until we're not. Come on, point me to your car." They walked together down the dimly lit road, the gas station fading behind them. Emily's car was a modest blue hatchback, parked awkwardly on the shoulder. John popped the hood, his flashlight beam cutting through the twilight. As he tinkered, checking the battery and belts, Emily leaned against the door, watching him. The air smelled of oil and earth, a grounding scent that matched the quiet moment. "It's the alternator," John said after a few minutes, wiping his hands on the rag. "Not a quick fix, but I can jump it and get you to my buddy's garage. It's not far." Relief flooded Emily's face. "Thank you, John. I don't know what I would have done." He connected the jumper cables from his truck, the engines roaring to life with a satisfying growl. As they drove back toward town, the tension in the air began to build subtly. John glanced at her occasionally, noticing how she clutched her phone tightly, as if expecting a call. "Everything all right?" he asked. Emily hesitated, then sighed. "Not really. The truth is, I'm not just some random woman on the road. But I can't talk about it yet." John respected her privacy, focusing on the road. The town lights appeared ahead, twinkling like stars. He dropped her car at the garage, where his friend promised to fix it by morning. "You can crash at my place if you need," John offered cautiously. "I've got a guest room. Lily's with her grandma tonight, so it's quiet." Emily looked torn, but exhaustion won out. "Okay, just for tonight." At John's modest house, a cozy two-story with a porch swing, the atmosphere shifted to one of tentative comfort. He made her tea a chamomile, to help her relax it, and they sat in the living room. The walls held photos of Lily, her gap-toothed grin at a birthday party, her tiny hand in John's on a hike. Emily traced one with her finger. "She's beautiful. You must be a great dad." "I try," John said, sitting across from her. "It's not easy, but she's worth it." He paused, sensing her unspoken burdens. "You know, whatever's weighing on you, you don't have to carry it alone." Emily set her cup down, her eyes meeting his. The room felt warmer, the clock ticking softly on the mantel. "John, there's something I need to tell you, but first. Why are you so kind?" Most people would have walked by. He leaned back, thinking. "Lost my wife to cancer. It taught me life's too short for indifference. Plus, undercover work mechanic work keeps me grounded." He caught himself, but the slip hung in the air. Emily's brow furrowed. "Undercover?" John froze, realizing his mistake. The tension rose like a slow wave. He hadn't meant to reveal that. "Yeah, I'm a detective, working a case on some corporate fraud in town, but please, keep it quiet." She nodded, but her expression changed, a mix of surprise and something else. "Corporate fraud? Like what?" He described it vaguely. "Fake companies siphoning money, tied to a big CEO who'd gone missing." As he spoke, Emily grew quieter, her hand on her belly. The room seemed smaller, the air thicker with unspoken truths. Finally, she took a deep breath. "John, I think I know why our paths crossed. That CEO. It's me." He stared, confusion etching his face. "What?" Emily stood slowly, pulling out her phone. She showed him a news article. "Emily Carter, CEO of Carter Tech, disappears amid scandal." The photo matched her perfectly. "I'm worth millions, but someone in my company framed me for embezzlement. I went into hiding to protect my baby. That's why I'm out here, crying at a gas station or running from it all." The twist hit John like a gentle storm. He'd been investigating her company, unaware she was the victim, not the villain. "You're the Millionaire CEO? But why hide as a broke, pregnant woman?" "To stay safe," she whispered. "I didn't know who to trust." Until now, the revelation hung between them, building emotional depth. John felt a rush of protectiveness. "Emily, I believe you. We'll figure this out together." Over the next hours, they talked deeply. John shared his fears as a single dad, the loneliness of his double life. Emily opened up about her rise to success, the betrayal by trusted colleagues, and her dreams for her unborn child. The conversation flowed with natural pauses, allowing emotions to bred tears, laughter, quiet reflections. By morning, as the sun rose softly over the horizon, John had a plan. Using his undercover connections, he'd help clear her name. Emily, in turn, offered resources to support his work, but more importantly, a genuine connection. They stood on the porch, watching the dawn. Lily arrived home soon after, bounding into John's arms. "Who's she, Daddy?" the girl asked, eyeing Emily curiously. "A friend," John said, smiling. Emily knelt gently, introducing herself. Lily touched her belly. "Is there a baby in there?" "Yes, sweetie. And thanks to your dad, we're both going to be okay." As the days turned to weeks, John and Emily's bond grew. He cracked the case, exposing the real culprits in her company. Emily reclaimed her life, but chose a quieter path, investing in the town and supporting single parents like John. In the end, it wasn't about money or secrets. It was about two souls finding solace and unexpected kindness. John learned to open his heart again, and Emily discovered strength and vulnerability. Together, they built a family not just for themselves, but for Lily and the new baby on the way. If there's a lesson here, it's this: in a world full of hidden stories, a simple act of compassion can uncover the greatest treasures. Reach out to someone today. You never know whose life you might change.